Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And then along the back road here, if you will, Rexton and down to H40 and so on and so forth. We're a nonprofit organization, 501c6 if you're up to those kinds of things. We are not a tax exempt organization. Our membership stands at about 46, I think, right now. Primarily business people and so forth. There are some individuals such as myself, a retired businessman, that have to be a member of the organization, of course, and so forth. But we're very pleased and proud to be part of this event today, and a lot of homework has gone into what you're experiencing today as a conclusion. And we have some people want to recognize a little bit later on and so forth. We're just tickled to death that you're here. I want to make a comment on something about Top of the Lake. Top of the Lake Community Association, Top of the Lake Snowmobile Museum. It's interesting to me to find out how many people don't realize that where that title comes from is that you're sitting today basically at the top of Lake Michigan, the northernmost point of Lake Michigan. The actual spike in the ground is just down the road here a little bit to the east of us where we sit today, just this side of the rest area and so forth. So the top of the lake is a phrase that we use quite frequently for that reason. But again, I find it just interesting how many people I've run into that are not aware of that particular situation. I want to cite just some different situations and people as we go through our program today, and have some ladies and gentlemen that are going to share from the microphone here a little bit later on and so forth. I want to share the contents of a letter that I received dated August 24th, 2017. Dear Mr. Brodberg, it is with great pleasure that I write to inform you that US-2 from Schoolcraft County to Mackinac County has successfully completed the bypass application process and is now designated a Pure Michigan Byway. The spectacular scenic views of the Lake Michigan shoreline throughout the corridor, access to recreation and natural areas, and the rich Anishinaabe. John, did I say that?
Anishinaabe.
Thank you. I'm only going to do that once. That's no disrespect to the Sioux tribe. But anyway, that history of the Sioux tribe, Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians made getting this designation effortless. This designation also establishes eligibility to apply to the Federal Highway Administration for federal funding to develop a corridor management plan containing strategy for promoting, protecting, and enhancing the essential qualities associated with the byway. Have any questions? I would refer to John Watkin, Manager of Bureau of Transportation. The letter is signed by Mr. Kirk Studel, Director of MDOT. So with this letter was a consummation of all the efforts that our association and so many other people up and down the line from St. Ignace to Manistique and areas in between to provide us with manpower and information and so forth to make this whole thing possible. So this letter is a very important document, I guess, from that standpoint. It's been mentioned to me that maybe we should frame that and put it up on the wall for future references. I'm not so sure that that's probably not a good idea. So on behalf... Just a big thank you to all who have participated. And I probably throughout my brief comments this afternoon will make reference to the fact that it's not a one-man show. There are a lot of hands that have been involved in what we're honoring today in terms of the ribbon cutting and so forth. So a lot of effort has gone forth, and just want to, on behalf of all those that have participated in what I call the development and fruition of this newest Pure Michigan Byway, we extend a tremendous thank you. Special thank yous this morning. How many MDOT people do we have here this morning? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are just a smattering. I don't know how many, Rebecca, how many meetings we have had leading up to today, but it's enough to cover, anyway, a few of them. A couple, 3 dozen. I don't know. But MDOT has been a big part of it, so we thank the ladies and gentlemen for MDOT for that. And Rebecca, I'm only going to say this once because there are so many letters. You need to shorten your organization down to something a little bit. Anyway, official title, Eastern Upper Peninsula Planning and Development Commission. You have a short, that commission and so forth. Anyway, thank you, Rebecca, so much for all of your effort and those associated with your organization. Your help was invaluable. And as I said to Rebecca just a few minutes ago, the work has just begun. Now that we've got the designation, now we need to put the rest of the plan together. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go on today. Special thank you to those agencies for the support and guidance towards making today's dedication of Pure Michigan Byway a reality. To Dan Weingarten, MDOT Upper Peninsula Office of Communication. Dan, thank you so much for your effort. Dan has already prepared a document for release, press release, based on today's event and so forth. We'll fill in the blanks, if you will. And but Dan, thank you so much for your personal assistance in that. There's always danger in pointing people out, but I do want to take an opportunity to thank 3 individuals from our Top of the Lake Communities Association for their supreme efforts in making again today possible. Bruce Gustafson is one. Bruce is a longtime member. He's a past president. Bruce is not able to be here today. They're away on a family matter. But it was Bruce who put forth a motion at our January 4th, 2016 meeting. The following motion was, and I quote, designating US-2, beginning at St. Ignace and ending at junction with M149 at Thompson Creek as a quote-unquote pure Michigan byway. This motion was adopted by unanimous vote of members present. The significance of that event is that today is somewhat the culmination of that particular motion. One of the requirements of the state of Michigan is the minutes of your meeting that indicates that you wanted to do this and put it forth for action and so on and so forth. So it's very, very important that I point that out. And then John Batchelder over here and Leslie Chapman back there. Leslie, raise your hand. That's Leslie. She is part of the hotel ownership committee. John is a retired MDOT employee, volunteer here at the Snowmobile Museum. Once we made the application for being the sponsor for this project, the paperwork was probably something like this, and I only say that to emphasize the amount of effort that it took these 2 people to answer the questions, and a lot of you who are here today representing your particular areas and district were part of providing that information both to Leslie and to John to put onto the MDOT application process form and so on and so forth. So a particular thank you to John and to Leslie for a tremendous job. Well done. Thank you for those. First, Leslie, do you wish to comment on your efforts at all? John?
Some comments are kind of out of order with your talk, but
Now that.
if I might mention, I hope I've got all of them, but probably missing some of the communities that all participated in this and are along the route that provided support and resolutions of support. Hendricks Township, City of St. Ignace, City of St. Ignace Chamber of Commerce, St. Ignace Kiwanis, St. Ignace Events Committee, Mackinac Luce Schoolcraft County Farm Bureau, Luce West Mackinac County Fair, Garfield Township, City of Manistique, Hudson Township, Manistique Township, Moran Township, Mueller Township, Newton Township, Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians, Thompson Township, Doyle Township. Now, Manistique Chamber of Commerce, Manistique Tourist Bureau, City Manistique Recreation Department, is that correct?
That's correct.
And there's probably some more, but what a tremendous support of all the people. And then this is kind of out of line, but I know somebody's going to ask the question, where are the signs for this scenic byway? Well, I know where they are. One is on the business loop in St. Ignace, south of Castle Rock, southbound, but that won't be put up for a while because that's under construction. But when the construction is done, it'll go up. One eastbound on the business loop in St. Ignace, east of I-75. One westbound on US-2 at Cheeseman Road, and that's, you leave St. Ignace, go up around the big hill and come down Cheeseman's Road by Lado's Pasty. One at the museum out here, 2 at 117 both ways, 2 at M77 both ways, 2 at Manistique both ways, and 1 westbound at Thompson, 11 signs. So for a trivia piece of information, go through those as you go. And they should all look like the one that's out here, just like this. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, John. I think in all, there were, in 17 on that list that you just spoke about, I think in all there were 21 or 22, something like that, of letters of support for the project and so forth. One I had, I think that was not on here, was US Forest Service. Hiawatha Sportsman's Club had one in as well. But thank you, John, for sharing that. And your remarks are not out of order, by the way. Always timely. A comment about what happens next, if I could share a little bit on that. Following today's ceremony, future meetings, and I referenced this earlier with Rebecca and so forth, future meetings will be coordinated by her agency to inventory the many points of interest along the byway and develop what they call a corridor management plan. Details of the byway can be seen in MDOT's, and I hope I have this information correct, it can be seen in MDOT's driving guide / Pure Michigan Byways and Tour Routes, which is available at the MDOT Welcome Center and online at MDOT Pure Michigan Byway, State of Michigan, and click on View the Driving Guide. That's something that we'll be working on, and John and Leslie and others of us as the days go by. Wanted to make reference to some of the benefits of having this byway program and it becoming part of it. Let me reference also, this is kind of last minute information, but in Dan Weingarten's news release to be sent out after today's program and so on and so forth, he makes reference to the fact that this new route brings the state's total to 21 byways encompassing 1,152 miles of what they call coastline. So I think there's really great significance in that particular piece of knowledge and so forth. This particular section we're talking about from St. Ignace to Manistique is, I think, 90, I've seen various numbers on it, but I think 92 is pretty much the accepted number. So there's a lot of beautiful things, obviously, in that 92-mile section. And that's what I want to reference next here for just a brief bit on the benefits of the Pure Byway program. There comes in 4 categories. Let me share this with you briefly. One is the preservation benefit for something along the line of identify, preserve, and enhance Michigan's scenic, historic, and recreational resources, to promote a greater awareness of and appreciation for those resources, provide an opportunity for growth management within a corridor by encouraging appropriate development, and provide an opportunity to manage the traveler and tourist impact on the resources. Another benefit category is economic benefits. Attracts visitors who bring additional revenues, enhancing economic activity in the region, attract new businesses, enhance existing jobs, and create new jobs. Third category is under community benefits, provides a vision for the future, united those who share that vision, enhances the local, regional, and state image on a national level. It identifies, promotes, and preserves community uniqueness, enhancing community appeal, and enhances the quality of life. Let me see here. Media coverage for those who are here. Well, just all of you who are here representing the media, thank you for being present today and capturing this on film and what have you. Sheila, you made mention of the camera crew.
I did.
Could you address that right now while I'm talking about that area?
I will. I'm glad you brought it up. Dennis Jankowski is the president of the Manistique Tourist Council. They hire this group right here, Great Getaways, to do all the marketing for the visitmanistique.com in the Manistique area. And we were fortunate to have them join us today. And I'd like Dennis or Denny to tell you what they've done, because they actually are doing a video and it'll be on channel 13. And so we'll get quite a bit of exposure. So go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah, why don't you come on up here?
Actually, why don't we get Tom to do it? Because he's the guy who's on the show.
Okay. Well, first of all, Great Getaways from PBS, and we are all over the country, mainly here in Michigan and around the Midwest. But we found out about this last spring when we were coming up here. So we thought, great opportunity. We started in St. Ignace, worked our way all the way to Manistique, getting just a wide variety of different things. Stopping here was one of our spots. And we're going to turn this into a show. We found out about the dedication when we were coming up here. Decided, hey, this is a good part of it too, so this is going to be included in the show also. So you can watch us on PBS, so we do stuff all over the state.
Thank you. My understanding is you've already filmed the 92 miles?
Yep.
Okay, so that would be part of what you were just talking about.
Yes, yes, that's
Great.
correct.
That's great. And you can see that again on PBS Channel 13?
Up here, but not any PBS station.
Okay.
Will they also be able to go to the visitmanistique.com site and watch it there?
Right.
So you can watch it on your computer also.
Okay, good, thank you. Any questions from the floor about that, or are you aware of this particular organization and what they do? You've seen their work before, so forth. Yeah, I see some knowledge and so forth, yeah. And they, I think you folks supplied our organization here with some of your film clips that you had done before to give us an idea of the type of work that you do and so forth. Yeah, so thank you very much for doing that. I wanted to make reference to Dan Whitegarden's comments, and let me see, this is in the St. Ignace News back on September the 28th in regard to our program today, and how the MDOT got to where they are today with this Pure Michigan Byway situation. This is very brief, and Dan says the following. There was an earlier program where they were called something like a scenic byway. They've all been rolled together under this new Pure Michigan Byway program. This is the latest one under that new designation that took hold a couple of years ago. There's a local committee, as reference to our committee here, there's a local committee centered in Naubinway with people from along the route, been working on this along with Eastern and Upper Peninsula Planning. It developed a committee that would be Rebecca's organization. And MDOT will mark the route with special signs, and John, you've already addressed that issue here this afternoon. We've got some folks that are going to come and share. Dave Nyberg from the governor's office. Dave, you were pointed out to be, do you want to come up here, Dave, or you want to speak from there?
I'll be real quick, yeah. I'll come up. That'd be easy.
Please do that.
Sure. Well, thanks, Dean. I'll be real brief. Some familiar faces, Jeff, Gladstone High School. Some little bit up at that. I was real excited when I got the invitation to come here. You know, obviously the invite was to the governor, not to me. You got the B team. But I was real excited that the governor, well, I shouldn't say that, huh? I was excited to be here and be able to surrogate on behalf of the governor. I grew up in Gladstone, went to school in East Lansing, so I've driven this route lots. And I think a lot of you can relate to this. When you come over the bridge and when you start to drive, I think your sense of stress and your whole sense of being changes. And for me, when I was coming back, it was usually for holidays or to visit friends and family. And I knew I was home when I was driving on US-2 and witnessing the beautiful scenery that we have here in UP. In my current job for the governor, I serve as his Northern Michigan Office Director, which is an office that provides customer service to everybody in Northern Michigan, including, I like to say, Knuckles North, all of the northern Lower Peninsula and the UP, and I'm based in Marquette. I put on about 30 to 40,000 miles a year on my vehicle, so I'm on this highway a lot in my job too, and I still get the same feeling. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate scenic byway than this stretch of 92 miles. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the sign. I think all you're missing is some dunes there. I think the sign may be inspired by your scenic byway, top of the lake. So last thing I'd like to do is just on behalf of the governor say congratulations. Volunteers make the world go round. Where are all the volunteers that contributed to this? Raise your hand. There's a lot of them, I know. Don't be shy. Let's give them a round of applause. Is well. I know how hard our civil servants at MDOT work. And I also have a different role in the governor's legal division as tribal governments liaison. And so I work a lot with the 12 federally recognized tribes in Michigan, including the Sault Ste. Marie tribe, Chippewa Indians, and Bay Mills Indian community. I know how much that partnership means to MDOT. We have a tribal liaison in MDOT that works closely with the tribal governments as well alongside myself. And to hear that collaboration with the community, the museum, the state agencies, the volunteers, it's just really heartening to hear and an honor to be with you all here today and celebrate with you. So thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me say a few words, Dean.
Mr. Johnson. Darren Johnson from MDOT Regional Engineer, Escanaba.
Thank you, Darren. Thanks. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and on behalf of all of MDOT and all of our employees, and especially on behalf of our director, Kirk Steidel, congratulations, and we salute you. It's so impressive, and we're thankful to be here to celebrate with you, because this isn't a program that MDOT does. This is a program that our communities who have, and our people who have pride in their communities and love living where they are and want to share that beauty and that pride, that's what this program is all about. And it's a real thrill to be here, a part of it. You know, I grew up in the UP too, just like Dave spoke of, and I grew up in a very small town. And where I come from, you may be familiar, but small towns, we have all these rivalries, you know, basketball team against basketball team dating back to decades. And when you hear about the letters of support from 22 different places and all the communities that Dean read, from St. Ignace all the way to Thompson and everything in between, it talks about the things we do together in the UP and in the community pride that we can, and the things we can do when we all rally together. And that's what this is all about. The top of the lake, US-2 Byway, is really fabulous, and it's now one of 6 that we have in the Upper Peninsula. And it's really a culmination of what used to be called our Heritage Route program, and now it's part of our Pure Michigan Byway program. And this is, again, like you all mentioned, perfect example of the beauty and the pride and what we have here in the UP and along US-2. And there's not anyone throughout our state that visits the UP and doesn't talk about the ride along US-2 right here, and remembering stopping with their mom and dad and getting to jump and swim in Lake Michigan. It's something that people all over the Midwest can relate to. So again, congratulations to you all. Thank you all for allowing us to be part of it. The signs are up, they look great, and the work just begins, because like Dean mentioned, now with the Eastern UP folks, there's a lot that can happen with this designation. State and federal funding will be available for all kinds of ability to plan and manage the corridor, look for ways to market it, and make it grow and become whatever you dream it to be. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Sheila?
If it's okay, I'll just stand back here.
City Manager, come on over. Deputy Mayor Mike.
They're not gonna let me get away with staying back here. Thank you so much for including us. And basically, that's what I wanted to say, is thank you to the Naubinway community for including Manistique to Thompson in your route. It is a beautiful route, and I think it will be enjoyed by many folks for years to come. My husband and I just came back from Connecticut. Very first stop that we made was at the First Michigan Welcome Center. I immediately asked him if they had a driving guide, and they must have been hot off the press because they had to go to their back room to get it. But I opened it up and we were there. You can ask my husband, I was extremely excited. But thank you to John. I know that you headed up the grant on it. You wrote the grant. Thank you to Rebecca from the Eastern Upper Peninsula Planning. And then I wanted to also thank the Tourist Council. I asked them if they would participate. They readily said yes and supported it. and offered their film crew. But basically, just thank you, and thank you to the folks from MDOT for allowing it to come as far as Thompson. Thank you so much.
I don't want to make anything political out of this, but I hope that Washington's listening to what's happening here today, that when you put your act together and heads together, no matter what our backgrounds are, we can accomplish something in that regard. And I think that's been forthcoming here today. So thank you again to everybody. Dan? This is Dan Listener, husband of Connie, mayor of St. Ignace, who could not be here today. And Dan's going to come and share a few thoughts with us.
Okay.
He said he was brief, and I told him he didn't have to think about it like that.
Oh, no. You got it upside down here. I just want to say good afternoon. My name is Daniel Litzner, and I'm here to speak on behalf of my wife, Connie, the mayor of St. Ignace, who, due to a prior engagement, is unable to be here today. We both feel it is a privilege and an honor to be invited to speak at this ceremony, at this dedication. If Connie were here, I'm sure she'd be talking about looking forward to working towards strengthening ties and marketing efforts between St. Ignace, Naubinway, and Manistique. Unfortunately, something that I know little about. But I can say that many times my family, friends, and I have enjoyed the dunes and hiking down the steps to the Cut River, but not so much coming back up. The structure of the bridge is awesome. I think the fall colors, which are a little bit different this year, but the fall colors at the bridge are probably some of the most beautiful in the state of Michigan. The lake views from dead calm to crashing waves are magnificent. Oftentimes, as an officer with the Michigan State Police patrolling US-2 from St. Ignace to Manistique, I would often get my lunch to go and eat it at one of the many scenic turnouts on US-2 just to view the lake. Sometimes a much needed reprieve from a sometimes hectic day. Something I want to add just briefly is John brought it up. He listed a business along US-2, and I can't tell you the number of times that I've talked to people that have to make certain stops at different locations along US-2 because that's really stopped. And I remember an old movie, I believe it was National Lampoon's Vacation, that actually showed one of the signs of the businesses along US-2. So I just want to close by saying US-2 from St. Ignace to Manistique truly is a pure Michigan byway. And I want to thanks to all who worked so hard to make this happen, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Is Aaron Payment here from the tribe? Not out in the hallway there, is he?
I think he had hoped to make it and ended up having a scheduling conflict.
Oh, okay. Alex, over here. Economic Alliance, the new, relatively new director. He's attended a couple of our top of the lake meetings and so on and so forth. You want to make a comment or two this afternoon?
Certainly.
Oh, come on up then. He already told me he didn't have a message for us, so watch what happens here.
Yeah, say put me on the spot here. I can only echo the words and the sentiments that have been shared by the people who spoke before me. This is truly, I think, a remarkable achievement. I have to applaud everybody who was involved, who, blood, sweat, and tears to make sure this got done. And so I can't help but, or do anything but say thank you to MDOT and to Top of the Lakes Community Association. It really is a great achievement. I think it'll be a great asset going forward. It was touched upon before that this is the beginning of a many-step process developing other natural assets that Mackinac County has to offer all the way to Manistique. And say thank you for inviting me. I'm honored.
That's very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just ask, if any questions, I guess the best way to put it. Just take a couple of, anybody have a particular question that's been raised this morning? If I can't answer it, somebody here from MDOT or John or from our organization can. Any comment that you'd like to make? I'll just give you a couple minutes to do that. You're also silent. Nobody has any questions. We answered all your questions today. That's good. We're going to do a ribbon cutting ceremony. I think it's planned for outside. Hopefully you can do that afterwards. Some luncheons and so forth, the snacks have been provided and so forth. And I guess I would ask our group, is there anything that I should have mentioned that I haven't? We didn't want to take a lot of time to do this today. I think it speaks for itself. Again, as so many of you have commented, it's not just one person. There's been a lot of hands that are involved in this process today. And I appreciate the attendance of everybody taking the time out to drive here and to be just to be here this afternoon. So we do thank you for that. Yes, Charlie.
A walk through the museum is fine too, guys. When you're after your goodies and things, you can definitely walk through the museum.
Cool. In that regard,
take it all in.
If any questions on Top of the Lake Communities Association, see me afterwards. See John. See Leslie. See Ethel. Who else is here from? I saw Sam. Sam is back here. He's a member of the organization. And if I missed it, Ike is that. Charlie, Marilyn. Steve Kingwood has.
Merle.
Oh, there's the one I know. Merle, she's in the one in the red there. Let's see what John.
Another little piece of trivia. This morning at 9 o'clock, we had a terrible panic attack. Big bang went off in our backyard and the power went out. Oh, what are we going to do? Well, sure enough, Cloverland came within a half hour and went out there and some squirrel had jumped on a transformer. Switched back on and panic went away.
Bravo for Cloverland Electric, who are here probably in 20 or 25 minutes, so there must have been a unit somewhere in the area and so forth. So, who has the ribbon? We don't have ceremonial scissors, or do we? We have scissors. We have some scissors with it.
We have two ceremonial ribbons. Well, we'll use this one.
We can do it twice in case we screw up.
So we're going to exit. I think we're going to do it out here by the banner. Is that agreed upon by everyone? So maybe we can get out there.
Photo op.
Yes, get a photo, get as many people as we can, and then we can come back in and have some refreshments. So, in case you go away and I don't get to see you afterwards again, thank you so much for taking a part of your busy schedule. Had a beautiful outdoor day in fall in Michigan here to come and participate this afternoon. It's greatly appreciated in your support of not only the project, but the community and or the organizations involved. So if the rest of you get away from me this afternoon, thank you for coming, whether you said anything or whether you haven't. So it's been great. So let's go outside and do this.
Are we ready?
Being so bossy.
All set to go? Here we go. 1, 2. Shazam! Thank you all.